Morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who's committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this morning, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this morning, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. We'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, none but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Alcides Trio. Carlos. Solemnly swear affirm to faithfully translate English to Spanish, Spanish to English.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
5/11 del 98.
5/11 of 98.
Sir, you're here on a warrant from Pasco County.
Señor, usted está aquí bajo una orden de arresto del condado de Pasco.
Yes.
The judge who signed the warrant believes that you failed to appear in his court on a charge of no driver's license.
El juez que firmó esta orden de detención cree que está bajo la impresión de que usted no compareció a un cargo de licencia de conducir no válida.
That judge set your bond at $513.
Ese juez fijó su fianza en $513.
If you can post that bond, you can get out of jail here.
Si usted puede pagar esa fianza, usted puede salir de la cárcel aquí.
And go to Pasco County and find out when they want you in court.
E ir entonces al condado de Pasco y averiguar cuándo es que ellos lo quieren ante el tribunal.
If you're unable to post that bond,
Si usted no puede pagar la fianza,
then I'll give Pasco County 5 days to come and get you.
entonces le daría al condado de Pasco 5 días para que vengan a recogerlo.
It never takes 5 days with Pasco County.
Con el condado de Pasco nunca toma 5 días.
But if for some reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me and I'll find out what the problem is.
Pero si por si acaso en 5 días usted todavía está acá y no lo han venido a recoger, entonces lo traerán ante mí y yo averiguaré qué es lo que está pasando.
Very good, thank you.
Muy bien, gracias.
All right.
Chantal Coaxum. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
12/6/73.
All right, Chantal, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. Apparently you failed to appear on a charge of driving with a foreign license while having a suspended license. State this something she can resolve today?
If she wants to resolve today, it's an adjudication, credit time, certified, scorecard,
Yes. Hello?
Chantal,
Um,
hang on.
Yes, I took care of my license. My driving privileges for Florida have been restored.
Okay,
That's why I was in yesterday
okay,
to see someone.
okay. It's sort of more than that. They're offering you a chance to resolve the case today. It'd be an adjudication of guilt. I'd sentence you to the 1 day in the county jail and assess the fine. You'd get out today, and this case would be over if that's something you want to do.
Yes, that would be released today?
Yep,
Yes, sir.
yep, and no more coming to court. This is over then, okay?
Okay.
All right. You understand, by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you. But you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Case number 18-CT-3150, it's a charge of driving with a foreign license while your DL is suspended. How do you wish to plead? You may plead no contest. It means you're not fighting the charge.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, credit 1 day served. Fine and court costs is $488, and $50 for the day in jail. When you get out, Chantel, you want to come back to the courthouse, and I'll put you on a payment plan for that fine and court cost so you don't lose your new license. But if that takes care of it. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you'll be released today, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Melissa Cherfield, Chrisville. Well, young lady, what's your date of birth?
8/31/86.
All right, you're here on a Pasco County warrant. The judge that signed that warrant found probable cause for a VOP. Set your bond at no bond. I can't change that. We'll let Pasco know you're here and ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come and get you. Like you may have just heard, it never takes 5 days with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5, they'll bring you back to see me and I'll find out what the problem is, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Sasha Crisantemi. What is Sasha, what's your date of birth?
12/31/86.
All right, Sasha, you're also here on a warrant out of Pasco County. In your case, the judge that signed the warrant found probable cause for a violation of probation and set a bond of $10,000. If you can post that bond, Sasha, you can get out of jail here, go down to Newport Richie, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post it, of course, then they have 5 days to come get you. If you're still here in 5, they'll bring you back to see me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Crispin Crispaw. Young lady, what's your date of birth?
6/10/91.
I have 2 charges this morning, possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, do you wish to represent yourself? You can hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. State, what can you tell me?
Showing a probation violation, appears to be community control out of Polk County 2017. Action was dropped in 2017 for prescription or possession of prescription without prescription. Adjudicated guilty for possession of harmful new lead and drug in 2017. Adjudicated guilty 2017 possession of meth, possession of paraphernalia. Those are on a Polk. Probation violation, 2017 out of Lakeland. Probation revoked on a guilty disposition for petty theft, first offense, multiple counts in 2017. Also, fraudulent use of identification, credit cards, which appear to all be out of. There's also possession of meth and possession of paraphernalia attached to that, also out of Lakeland. An action was dropped in 2016, possession of meth with intent to sell. Out of Polk County, adjudication withheld in a possession of cannabis out of Polk County 2012, and she's showing as a single source offender.
All right. And young lady, I have an address for you on Mildred Avenue here in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Not anymore.
Okay. Where do you live now?
In Polk County,
Do you have an address in Polk County?
6308 Ross Creek Road.
Very good. How long has that been your address?
Since yesterday,
Okay.
actually.
All right. You have a job these days?
I just lost my job yesterday.
Okay. What were you doing?
I was a project estimator for a Division 10 company.
Okay. And leave your bonds per the schedule, which is $2,000 on the meth, $1,000 on the paraphernalia. The total is $3,000. You'll be back in court on December 26th. When you get out, it's very important that you contact the public defender's office right away, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michaela Matthews Cicero. What young lady, date of birth?
3/18/1990.
Okay. So, Michaela, we took a plea from you the other day, and it turns out that you were on felony probation. If I had known that, I wouldn't have taken the plea. So we're going to do 2 things. Does somebody have the case number for the misdemeanor?
I do. It's 2018 CT 3482.
18 CT 3482. Okay. And then what would be the nominal return date on that? Like for, I guess, for a pretrial. 12/21. Okay. So Michaela, when we took your plea on that misdemeanor, we put you in a bad spot with your felony. So I'm going to, if you want me to, and you should, let you withdraw the plea on the misdemeanor so that you haven't pled to that, and you'll be in a better position as far as your felony VOP goes. Does that sound reasonable to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm going to grant her motion, her Ori Tennis motion to withdraw her plea in 18 CT 3482. I'll set that case, so the misdemeanor case, Michaela, I'm setting for the 21st of December, and I'm also going to appoint the public defender on that case, unless, were you planning to hire private counsel, or you want a PD?
PD for now.
All right, so I'll appoint the PD in that case, and then what I have in front of me today, of course, is the probable cause arrest for the VOP. There is probable cause based on the picking up the new charge. The bond on that, unfortunately, is no bond. That one's coming back on the 26th of December. So the public defender will come out and talk to you about both of your cases and see what we can do. But we unwound that plea, so whatever your situation is, it's somewhat better now. So when they come see you, they'll be able to work with you a little, all right?
Is there any way I can have the felony date moved up? I'm in a program with daycare, the FIT program, and if I miss a certain amount of time, I get removed from the program.
Who's your judge? Do we know who her judge is? Do you know the name of the judge that put you on felony probation, Michaela?
I believe it was Merritt.
Merritt?
Yeah.
I think he had it early. He had one on the 11th. Yep. Okay. I'll move you to that on the 11th. That actually helps with the misdemeanor anyway, because you'll have been to felony court before. On that misdemeanor, put that at an ROR too, so there's no question about that. If she would resolve the felony, she wouldn't be held for that. Okay, so your felony's coming back on the 11th, your misdemeanor on the 21st, and PD's going to come see you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Nancy Vasquez? Morning, Nancy. What's your date of birth?
4/13/61.
And so you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. Apparently you failed to appear in her court earlier this week on driving on a suspended charge. States this sort of thing she can resolve this morning.
Absolutely. It's an adjudication, credit time served, fines, court costs, cost prosecution.
All right. Nancy, if you want to plead to this morning, you can take time served. I'd sent you to 1 day, assess the fine and court costs, and then if there was nothing else keeping you in the jail, you'd be released today, and this case would be over. Does that sound like something you want to do?
Definitely, sir.
Okay. All right. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you. But you're willing to give up those rights so that we can resolve your case today?
Yes.
Yep, that's the right answer. Just for this case, Nancy.
Yes.
So case number 18 CT 2974 as to the allegation that you drove knowing your license was suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest, means you're not fighting the charge.
No contest.
I'll accept the plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, credit 1 day served, fine and court costs is $488 and $50 for the night in jail. So Nancy, if there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you'll be released today. If you stop by the courthouse on the first floor, there's a clerk's office there that can help you with a payment plan for those fines and court costs, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Crystal Wells?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning, Crystal. What's your date of birth?
4/29/65.
All right. Crystal, the charge is battery. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel, or would you like me to appoint the public defender?
The public.
Appoint the PD state?
C in action was dropped in May of this year for aggravated assault with a weapon out of Fernando. Probation violation out of Pasco in 2010. Probation violation out of Pasco in 2010. Guilty disposition, possession of cocaine in 2009 out of Pasco. Uttering false instrument in Pasco 2004, no disposition. Adjudicated guilty in 2006 for cocaine possession and looks like the sale of cocaine out of Pasco. Trespassing out of Lake Worth in 1997, no disposition, and fleeing to elude in 1997, no disposition. There is out-of-state history, but it does appear to be the 90s
Okay.
involving drugs.
Okay. And Crystal, I had an address for you on Cobblestone in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
I've been there residing about 7 years.
You have a job these days?
I'm currently on disability.
Okay. All right. I'm going to leave your bond at the $500. Unfortunately, condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Frankie Citron. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media, you don't go where he lives, you don't go where he works, you don't have any contact of any kind. Anyway,
Sir, may I?
you can shut up until I'm done talking. How about that?
I'm sorry.
No, it means no contact of any kind, any way that you might imagine contacting him. I forbid you to do that. If you have contact with him and I find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He might go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in pursuing this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. As far as that address on Cobblestone goes, as long as he's still there, you'll have to find somewhere else to stay until this case gets resolved. You can go by one time to collect your things, your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need, wherever you decide to go. To do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They'll meet you there with a deputy who will stand by while you pick up your things and get going where you're going. Do you have a question?
Sir, yes, sir. May I ask you a question? He doesn't live there. He's sleeping on the couch. He doesn't get any mail there. He's only been there 2 weeks. I've been there 7 years. My whole life is there.
It doesn't matter to me where he lives. If he's there, you can't go there. If he leaves and goes someplace else, I don't have any problem with you going back to Cobblestone.
Okay.
The contact is with Frankie, but if he's still there, you can't be there. We're clear?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
You'll be
sir.
back in court on the 21st of December. If you get out, make sure you contact the PD right away.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Dwight Gentles.
Yes, sir.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
10-5.
All right. And Dwight, I have a warrant for you out of Pasco County. The judge that signed the warrant found probable cause, looks like, for an aggravated battery, probably domestic in nature, because the bond is no bond. I can't set you a bond today, so like you've heard me say a bunch of times today, we're gonna let Pasco know you're here. Give them 5 days to come get you. I don't expect it'll take that long. If it takes longer than 5, they'll bring you back to see me. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jerry Gore. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
10-20-79.
Mr. Gore, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Rupi. She found probable cause for 3 counts, burglary of a structure, grand theft, and dealing in stolen property. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
PD for now.
I'll point the PD. State what you can tell me.
Showing a probation violation from earlier this year out of Pasco, probation violation from earlier this year out of Hernando. An action was dropped earlier this year for trespass out of Pasco, failure to appear from January of this year out of Hernando, a battery with no disposition in 2013 out of Pasco, probation violation in 2011 out of Levy County, probation violation out of Levy County 2011, guilty disposition for obstructing justice, threats to witness in 2011, battery, those are out of Levy, failure to appear out of Levy in 2009, guilty disposition for paraphernalia and sale of methamphetamine out of Hernando in 2009, failure to appear in 2008 out of Hernando, driving while license suspended third or subsequent out of Levy in 2008, no disposition, probation violation Hernando 2008, probation violation on Citrus 2008 or 2007, a battery in 2003 out of Levy, no disposition, multiple probation violations in 2003.
Okay, that's good. Jerry, where you been staying lately? I got an address on Punch Road in Ridge Manor. Is that where you live?
Yeah.
Okay. You have a job these days?
Nope.
Okay. We'll leave the bonds for the warrant, which are $5,000, $2,000, and $5,000 respectively, for a total of $12,000. I'll have you back in court on the 26th of December. If you're able to get out, you should contact the PD. If you can't get out, they'll come see you at the jail, okay?
Okay.
Are you? Robert Holland? Robert, what's your date of birth?
December 17th, 1954.
Robert, I have 2 charges this morning. I got to go driving under the influence and leaving the scene of an accident. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
PD for the moment you're talking about.
Appoint the public defender. State what you tell me.
This is all I'm showing in-state and out-of-state. It appears to be a DUI from July of 2013. That's all I'm showing, Your
All
Honor.
right. And Robert, I have an address for you on 13th Avenue West in Bradenton. Is that where you live?
Yes.
And how long have you lived there?
About 19 months now.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work for Lender Machinery. I'm a salesman.
Okay. What brought you to Hernando County?
I travel the state of Florida for them.
Okay, so you were traveling for work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll set your bond at $500 on each count, so your total's $1,000. I'll have you back in court on the 21st of December. When you get out, make sure you contact the public defender, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jamie Manns? Morning, Jamie. What's your date of birth?
5/11/78.
Jamie, I have a warrant for you out of Pasco County. The judge who signed that warrant found probable cause for 1 count, failed to return hired or leased property.
It's my property.
It's also Pasco County, so, you know. The warrant has been signed. The bond is $5,000. If you can post the bond, you can get out. If you can't post it, I'll give them 5 days to come get you, okay?
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
You too. Quante Mason? Morning, Mr. Mason. What's your date of birth?
So 1:30
Quante, you're here on a writ of bodily attachment. That means that a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $919. Do you have that much money, Quante?
No, sir.
Okay. And are you working these days?
I just got laid off in October.
What were you doing?
I was working with Republic through Prescott.
Okay. And Quante, is there any amount of money that you could get to the jail today if it meant getting out of jail?
Like $50.
Okay. All right, I'll find you in contempt for your failure to pay child support. The sanction for that contempt will be 10 days in the county jail or until you pay $50 cash. So if you get the $50 for the jail, you get out. If you don't, you do 10 days. In either event, when you're out of jail, you should contact the folks at Child Support Enforcement right away. If you don't do something to try to get this issue cleared up, eventually they'll start this process over again and you'll get arrested again, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Paul Snyder?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
12/26/1989.
All right, first thing I have for you is a warrant signed by Judge Ruby. Apparently you failed to appear in her court on Wednesday on a charge of possession of paraphernalia. I have another one signed by Judge Toner, and apparently you failed to appear in his court on Monday on a charge of burglary of a dwelling. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
PD.
I'll appoint the PD. State what you tell.
All right. Aside from the open case, it appears he has some out-of-state history. Looks like Pennsylvania, 2010 criminal mischief, burglary, theft, 2006. Weapon on a school, disorderly, 2001, burglary, theft, trespass. And again, he does have the open cases that you're aware of.
Right. Okay. And Paul, I've got an address for you on Hallcrest Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
3 months.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Currently trying to, sir.
Okay. As to Judge Rupee's warrant, I'll leave the bond for the warrant, which is $2,000, excuse me. That case will be back on the 21st of December. They might have told you the 26th. It'll be the 21st. That's the Judge Toner's warrant. I'll leave that bond for the warrant, which is $10,000. That one will be coming back also on the 21st, and they also told you the 26th on that one. So both of them coming back on the 21st. If you're able to bond out, you should contact the Public Defender's Office right away. If you can't get out, they're going to come see you at the jail before the 21st, okay?
Yes, sir. Can you please repeat the total bond amount?
$12,000.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Jeffrey Robbins. Morning, Jeffrey. What's your date of birth?
12/17/82.
Jeffrey, the charge is driving under the influence. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself and hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
PD, please.
I'll point to PD, Steve.
An action was dropped in 2013 for felony battery or domestic battery by strangulation out of Citrus County. An action was dropped in 2011 for false imprisonment. Adjudicated guilty in 2011 for battery. Those are out of Daytona Beach. Disorderly conduct, no disposition, 2010 out of Citrus County. Disorderly intox in 2007 out of Citrus County, no disposition. Multiple actions were dismissed in 2008 for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and in that same case, it appears to be the same case. There's a guilty disposition on one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 2008 out of Citrus. An action was dropped for a battery causing bodily harm on Crystal River in 2003. Probation violation on Citrus in 2001. Adjudicated guilty in 2001 for retail.
You're good. You're good. We're back 17 years. You're good. Jeffrey, got an address on North Brooks Terrace in Dunellen. Is that where you live?
No, sir.
Where do you live now?
Inverness.
Do you have an address in Inverness?
Yeah, 5552 South Bristol Terrace.
All right. How long have you been there?
About 3 months.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Plant manager
What? Where?
at the now Carbon
Okay.
in Romeo.
All right. I'll set your bond at $500. I'll have you back in court on the 21st of December. Make sure you contact the PD when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Taylor Bledsoe?
Morning, Your Honor.
Well, Taylor, I understand that you're ready to waive extradition and get going to Virginia. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Did he give you the form? There you go. All right. So, Taylor, they're going to notify Virginia immediately. They have 15 days to come and get you. If you're still here in 15 days, they're going to bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the problem is, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. Anything else, Joe?